Much power per car when using the dispensers? Oh, sorry, I'm sorry, that was a question that I already asked. I should have clicked below that. Is there any chance of malfunction due to various weather conditions? What features are provided to prevent such consequences?
Of course, because of weather conditions, there could always happen something, because there could be extreme events, like, for example, lightning strikes. And in order to prevent malfunctions to that, we installed an overvoltage and a lightning protection inside of the charger. And also, if you want to have the dispenser option, it is also included in the charger and prepared. So when you connect the dispenser to it, that this connection with dispensers is also saved and secured through that. And due to normal weather conditions, like for example heavy rain, for example, our housing is certified after the EPA 54 standard. So we did some tests with direct rain on it, and also heavy dust, and we passed all these tests, and therefore so the housing, the charger, is prepared to handle, let's call it, rough ambient conditions. Yeah. And also one ambient condition which is also rough is, for example, high temperature. And the charger is built to go up to 50 degrees without a problem. And according to its internal temperature, external temperature, it will automatically, dynamically derate itself, so that in all cases and every condition, the charger won't be harmed and the charger will still operate.
Thank you. And don't really go away, because again, it's a question for you. When will the charger be able to support two vehicles charging with liquid-cooled cables, for example, two Tesla Model 3s at 150 kilowatt each?
So we do not support that right now, because right now in the charger we have only one liquid-cooled cable available, but there will be an option for 2 times CCS, so the other CCS cable will have 250 amps, so which will operate about 100 to 120 kilowatts in the charging range of, for example, a Tesla vehicle. If you have a high voltage vehicle, like for example the Porsche Taycan, then we can easily charge a higher power with them, because they run on 800 volts and above. But, for example, if you take the dispenser option, and if you equip the dispensers with a liquid-cooled cable, which is possible, then you can have our C charger, and you can have 2 dispensers with each one liquid-cooled cable. So in total, for the whole, let's call it, setup, you would have 3 liquid-cooled cables, and each of those dispensers can run on the full power, so on 300 kilowatts, and each of those dispensers, they support up to 500 amps. Yeah, so that's our solution on that. Yeah.
Thank you. And now let the others also answer some questions. This one would be for Moritz. This release is meant for the European markets, I see. When can we expect the release for American markets, UL?
So thank you for that question. So yes, we start here for the IC markets, let's say, meaning Europe, but also going towards Asia and partly South America. We are working on an UL release for that charger as well, but this is still to come, because we time the development also of the charger, so don't expect that to be here within the next half year, but rather later towards the end of the calendar year, early next calendar year.
Okay, thank you. I'm just checking the questions again. Which one should be the next one? Because apparently Pierre still seems to be the most popular. Let me check. Is the charging session interrupted when a new electric vehicle plugs in at the charger?
No, it's not. It's because of our dynamic power allocation. So, for example, if one car charged, and this car, for example, needs, let's call it really needs 300 kilowatts, yeah, so full power. And once there is a second car arriving, then the charger, of course, he does the connection check and everything, and then he allocates the power the other car needs as well. He allocates the power to each car in an optimized way so that two cars can charge at the same time in their best way. And for example, if both cars need full power, then the charger will shift 50-50, almost 50-50%, right? And for example, one car reaches a higher state of charge, so then of course the charge rate will go down because the battery doesn't support it, and then the charger will dynamically and automatically shift the remaining power to the other car if it needs it. Yeah. So, yeah, it sounds pretty simple, but we have a really complex algorithm in the background that really handles that. So this does not need to be handled by the operator or by the backend system. This is all done automatically within our charger firmware.
Thank you. And in the meantime, one of the viewers asked us whether the questions are answered live, and I can assure you we are answering those questions very much live, hence some technical problems might occur. So you are seeing everything as it happens right now. And there is a question for Moritz. Do you have a cybersecurity certification for this product?
Well, we have at Siemens quite strict cybersecurity regulations. So basically, we are also this charger run through a whole cybersecurity process, which follows Siemens cybersecurity regulations, which are tougher than many other, let's say, certification standards actually. And that for sure we can show and prove in the direct customer discussions.
Okay, thank you. I was just looking whether there are questions that are for any other than Pierre. But apparently, Pierre, your star of the day. When do you announce DC parallel charging? Do you mean that installed DC power can be equally shared between two DC outlets?
Yeah, as I already mentioned before, almost equally, because it's depending on our power groups where the converters are allocated to. So, for example, if you have two outlets, you have 160 kilowatts to 140 kilowatts. Yeah. If you have 4 outlets, we can, for example, share equally 60, 60, 60, 80. Or it's always depending on your configuration, because you can not only buy this charger as, for example, a 300 kilowatts charger, you can also buy it, for example, as a 160 kilowatts charger or 180 kilowatts charger or 240. So it's really customizable according to the customer needs. And according to the power which is equipped into the charger, we can share them according to the installed power groups to the installed outlets. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. And still trying to sort out these questions that we just received. Again, Pierre, if I need to maintain a distributed charger, do I need to isolate the main charger from the substation? Or are there circuit breakers, isolators within the main charger for safe isolation?
No, you don't need to do that, because first of all, at the charger itself, we have a 3VA circuit breaker in there with a motor switch. So this is also one of the safety and security concepts, so that the charger, in case there's any error or malfunction, it will turn off the circuit breaker. And also we are a configuration backend, we can turn it on again. So also in case, for example, if there's a power outlet outage, we can restart the charger without anybody, service personnel, going there and doing the restart. And because also you do not need any installation to the substation power station, because we have a galvanic isolated DC charger. So we have a galvanic isolated DC-DC power converters in there. And this is also one of the reasons why it can be safely operated, and also one of the reasons why we can do this dynamic load shifting and this parallel charging of numerous vehicles.
thank you. And again, I could just repeat myself, stay on the line, because what if 4 cars needed to be charged, each having capacity of 150 kilowatt? How the charger will work? Will there be any priorities?
This really depends on the customer settings in the OCPP setting. Yeah. So, for example, if there is no special request or setting by the customer, then our charger will dynamically allocate the power equally to 4 vehicles. But if there is a customer OCPP request, for example, to treat 1 vehicle on priority, then the customer can tell via OCPP, yes, please charge this 1 vehicle at first and with full power, and after that the next one, and so on. So this is really also, there is no really yes/no question. Yeah, so it really depends on our setting and on the customer setting, but we can handle that, yes.
Okay, and I'm not going to say who the question is for. I'm sure you all guessed. What is required to service and maintain the main units and dispensers?
So we have, within our operating instructions, we have general service and maintenance instructions, how to process. So I'm really talking about the general service now. So this is really, you need to clean the filter mats, the air intakes, you have to check the RCD because it's just given by the norm and the standard. And that's basically it. So if nothing breaks, this is the basic maintenance you'll have to do within 1 year. So check the filter mats, air intakes if they're clean, checking the outside if the charging cables are all right or if they're damaged, for example. So it's not real special service required for this standard service and maintenance process.
Good to know. And another technical question, could there be a conflict for HMI space with 3 to 5 customers wanting to use the same screen for their individual needs? Could you split the screen into 3 to 5 smaller equivalent screens?
So right now we have this one big screen where you can select 3 outlets of the main charger, and when you have the basic dispenser, you will also select the outlets of the basic dispensers on that big screen. That whole process of selecting your outlet, selecting your payment method, authentication method, and everything, it really takes only a few seconds, yeah. But if there's a conflict and if something happens that really 5 customers are at the charger at the same time and one start at the same time, well, at least they need to wait a few seconds, or if you as a customer don't want that, then you have the option later to pick the advanced dispenser, which will have a smaller screen with a dedicated UI for this smaller dispenser.
Thank you. And with that, I would like to say thank you for all of your questions that have arrived today. And we are about to wrap up today's event. And today has been a major milestone in our efforts in e-mobility. We've talked with you about our brand new charger, C-Charge-D. But I also wanted to make you aware of the fact that this is only a portion of what we are doing in terms of e-mobility. We've got end-to-end solutions for your needs. We've got a whole portfolio. Should you be at the very beginning of your customer journey, wanting to install just one single charger, or you're already a bit far more ahead and you would like to electrify your whole depot, we are there with our various products and services, starting from intelligent planning through hardware. And by hardware, I would also like to highlight that we don't only offer charging hardware, but we also offer the grid connection to that. And so planning, hardware, software, and we also offer maintenance for various customer groups. So stay with us in case you've got any needs for e-mobility. And talking about our series of webinars, which we launched last year, the one that we had today is almost the last one in the series. Tomorrow we've got another one for an American audience about their plug-to-grid solutions, which is also going to be exciting. And the reason why I'm showing this slide to you is that in case you're interested in our offers, then please go to our webpage, siemens.com/e-mobility-webinars, where you will find the recordings of our previous webinars and where you will also find the recording today's webinar. And in case you missed parts of today's webinar or even the whole of it, you will be receiving an email quite soon, in 24 hours hopefully, with the recording so that you can watch it. And last but not least, get in touch with us. There is more to come from our end. And maybe as a last thought, well, e-mobility is a very important factor in going towards a more sustainable future. And when installing Embracing e-mobility, you can be part of that future as well. So turn to us, talk to us, visit our webpage, siemens.com/e-mobility, and we are looking forward to hearing from you. It was great to have you here today. Have a nice day, and goodbye.